Thank you for the lovely introduction. And first of all, I take this opportunity to thank you to Markets Pro. Thank you to Rajeshri ma'am and Rahul sir for allowing us to this opportunity to talk to the students. And so I am here to give the industrial side view, or what is industries are thinking, how they are doing during this pandemic. Can I share my slides?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So today, now, as we all are aware that this is a pandemic situation never seen by anybody, obviously not even envisioned by any of the industry, because this is something new. This is really very new. We have just seen this into the movies that there will be a doomsday, and right now we are actually trying to face that. So industries are forced, offices are forced to work from home, to shift their base from the working into the office scenario to work from home. The manufacturing facilities were closed. Now how the industry is coping up for all this situation? So industries are now proceeded to the journey towards agility. So what are they doing? Raising the rigid structures. Industries were having very rigid structures, that there will be a top to bottom decision making. There will be particular procedures in place. So first of all, that what they are doing is that they are raising these rigid structures. And rather than having a top down decision making, now it is more about a decentralized approach. They are working on the clusters, they was working on the teams which are territory based. So the it is about more about the dynamic management by the small teams, so that the small functions, small units will work well, and then a whole company as a whole will work as a very really nice working industry. The structure is now become porous. Porous means spongy. It will be there to absorb any new change which will come into the picture. So it is about building an organization which will be ready for the never normal world. Because now they are even thinking, there is a think tank which will think that what are the more possible difficulties which we can face. This is one. What are they? So now we will build a structure which will adapt to the new change, which will be agile, which will be quick to react to these changes. Then they are going more digital, because there is no choice now. Initially there is much of a paperwork involved. Now there is no there is no scope of having any paperwork done. So we are getting more digital. The industries are now moving from paper to e-files, to the data-driven systems, which are now processed and empowered by the cloud, so that it will be a faster data. Then resilient workforce. What is resilience? Resilience is your capability to overcome the difficult situation. So resilient workforce means that the workforce or the employees that the company is having, they should be trained enough, they should be compatible enough, they should be competent enough to adapt these changes. So now the HR managers are also looking for the job description or the capabilities which are there, should be there into an employee to adapt these new changes. So now there is uh, too many trainings going on, the competency trainings, the skill enforcement for adapting to the new world, which is this new normal of working from home. And finally, blend with the trend. Now what is blending with the trend? I would like to give you an example for Asian Paints. Asian Paints, as you know, that it is a paint industry. And when we entered into the lockdown around in March, mid of March or end of March. So April and May is basically a wedding season in India. So many of the us will go on painting their houses. But due to lockdown, there was no such activities. There was no functions. So what they did, they saw that sanitizer market is the one which is coming up. So they adapted themselves and then they started with the sanitizer production. So now they are back into the game because one portfolio of paints is not working, not giving any profit, not giving any output. So now they have a new vertical, which is sanitizers. So they blend with the trend, and that's how they saved. So this is all about the intelligent enterprise. This is how the industries are thinking for matching up with the new world. Now, what are the opportunities that you have in the new normal? So as we see that there is a blackout, or there is a kind of a halt for some of the industries, like there was a who faltered, the one which faltered are the events, because there are no events now. The classroom teaching is not there, but now what is there? First is a gig economy. The gig economy jobs could see an uptick. What is gig economy? Gig economy is actually a freelancing. So if you have your skills in a particular domain, like if you are good at SEOs, social uh, social media, advertising, if you're good at online marketing, as I am from a marketing side, so I'm giving you many more marketing examples. But at the same time, if you're able to do any project for any company, which will be a distant assignment for a short term, not requiring a 9 to 5 particular job structure, rigid structure, then you have the job for such an industry. And right now, even companies are having very limited resources. They are short on the liquidity. They do not have much of funds. So such kind of gig economy jobs are there into the boom, because they will allot you a certain assignment. They are not going to hire, so the hiring cost is not with them. It will be a just task based assignment, and you finish it and then you gain from it. The very important aspect of shift of supply chain to SEAP. So SEAP is Southeast Asia Pacific. As you know, the pandemic outbreak from China, when there was outbreak in China, many major manufacturing houses were feared because everything stopped. And China is a very big, huge market. Too many components, too many spare parts are manufactured from China, and then they are provided into the rest of the world. So now many of the industries are thinking about shifting their base from China, and which is a next big and very favorable market. It is Southeast Asia Pacific. Why these countries? Because they have a good domestic market. There are buyers who can buy the products which are going to manufacture in the same market. Then there is a skilled labor and cheaper labor than the one they will get in US, a kind of a market. So a skilled labor, a good domestic market, and very importantly, a network of seaports, network of airports, network of railways. So the infrastructure is also really good. So for that, India, Vietnam, and Thailand are the countries which are competing to get the foreign investors. And here comes Atmanirbhar Bharat Yojana into the picture. As Kaustubh has highlighted in his introduction, the PM has announced the Atmanirbhar package. So the government is also working very, very hard to get these foreign investments into the India to boost the business, to boost the economy. So they are giving single window clearance for the sectors like leather, textile, pharma, and MSMEs. MSMEs are medium and small enterprises. So once you get the funds, it is easier for the industries to bloom again. So what are the other sectors? The other sectors are like electronic production. You must have heard that Google is come up with 10 billion dollars funds for India, and out of that, they have already invested $4.5 billion into Reliance. Yes, so Reliance and Google together will come up with the uh, operating system building platform for the 5G entry level handsets. So that is going to be a one more market where the jobs will come up. The next is I would like to mention over here is that the railway is getting privatized. It's not getting privatized definitely on a very larger grounds, because railways is just only 5% of the part is getting privatized. But yes, you can see some of the jobs getting available due to railway privatization. Then we are seeing the rise in the FHPC market. FHPC is food, health, and personal care. As we are all staying at home, hotels are closed, we don't have to go outside, nobody is buying clothes, nobody is ordering anything from the hotel, but rather we are getting our own inner chef out of us and cooking. So, yes, the food, personal care, because now everybody is very very keen about keeping their houses clean and sanitizing everything, sanitizing your hands whenever you're going out, so that consumption has gone higher. Pharma and the consumables, because uh, pharma and consumables, because pharma sector is obviously in a great demand now, because hospitalization and the consumables like syringes, gloves, and all the other um, medicines has gone high. Then online education and remote learning, the part which we are doing right now. Online education is because the classroom teaching has shifted to online education. This is now even the time for all the other websites or all the other service providers who are already there into the online education. They are allowing the courses which are there. It is now more and more used. This is even the time for you to do any such courses if you are trying to upskill it. IT and ITS, net providers, then the Kaustubh, I can't see my one side of the slide. How can I do it? Like, okay, now done. So IT and ITES, net providers and home deliveries, they see an uptick. Data analytics and data visualization is another um, part which are seen a growth, because now as you see, this can relate to a gig economy, because companies are having data and data analysis is in high demand, because companies need to draw the inferences based on the data that is available with them. So data analytics and data visualization is a very good sector which is in demand now. Cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and machine learning are the other sectors which are also seeing a good demand. Now, I need you to understand the supply chain which is involved in all these functions. I would take an example of FHPC market because it is close to my area of working. I belong to Sidel India, as Kaustubh has said, and I am into a company which manufactures the machine, a blowing machine to blow a PET bottle. A PET bottle as in a plastic bottle. General, all the juice bottles, the water bottles that you drink from are manufactured on the blowing machine. So now, when if you say now that Asian Paints, as I give you the example, that they are coming up with the sanitizer bottles. So when they required a sanitizer bottle, how they approached, there would be a back chain and a front chain, a vertical supply chain. I am sure that you must have read about it into your textbook. This is a time for you to apply the book concepts into the real world. So there is a vertical chain. The back chain will involve Asian Paints to contact to the blowing machine manufacturer to ask for the blowing machine. The blowing machine manufacturer will in turn will contact their own ancillaries, their vendors to come up with their supplies, their spare parts. They will assemble it. There are the preforms which are used to blow those bottles. So there is a separate supplier for the preforms. They all together supply a machine, the preforms, to Asian Paints, and then Asian Paints now further, after getting the bottles assembled, even the pipes or the sprays that you see are a different suppliers. So they assemble it, they label the product, pack it, and now the product is ready for dispatch. Now it gets handed over to a logistics team. It now goes through a wholesalers, the retailers, and then it reaches the consumers. So in a process, when one sector or one industry is getting benefited, when it is going or doing good, the rest of the supply chain is also getting benefited. So I want to tell you that this is where you can find the job opportunities. So you should keep your eyes open. When one sector is doing good, like suppose PPE kits, now PPE kits were not in great demand. So whoever is making PPE kits, now you will go and find who is supplying the material, who is actually manufacturing it, and where now it is going into the how it is reaching the consumers. So to all, these are the new opportunities or few of the new opportunities that I have given you. How you will prepare for it? So how you will lead the pack? Because now I know that there are some second year students who are already passed out, and there are few students who are already aspiring. So this will be useful for both of you, because now is the time for halt. Now that as everything is on the back burner, this is now the time for you to introspect and analyze and prepare. So how you will lead the pack, how you will get that extra edge. So you need to upskill yourself. Now what is upskilling? Upskilling is gaining the knowledge, gaining the technologies, gaining the learning different modules. Like if you want to go into a digital marketing, there are many courses like Google courses are there. So there is Google AdSense, there is Google Analytic course, then there are online courses for social media marketing. Even for finance students, there are courses for the trading courses. You need to choose your area where you want to go and look for the job. Like for marketing, there are different trades. There is online marketing, product management, brand management, events, or sales. So you need to choose the career where you want to pursue, and then learn the skill, then polish your skills accordingly. Then resilience and agility. So what is resilience? I have already told you. Resilience is your capability to handle the difficult situation and come up with a strong bang back. Agility is how quickly you can overcome that difficulty, your elasticity. So resilience and agility are the two very important characteristics that you need to inculcate to face the future. Whenever you're going to approach for the job, the HR manager or the hiring person will definitely look into you these two qualities, that how resilient you are, how much capability and capability you have, the capacity to overcome and capability to adjust to the new environment. So these are the two qualities that you should focus on. Developing the right attitude and behavior. uh, so what is the right attitude that you need? So there are multiple skill sets that you will prepare as per the job profile, because they are written. It is depending upon um, all the skill sets that you will get. What are the courses that you will do? Like you can do a SQL training for polishing the coding, which will help you to make a good dashboard. But what are the right attitude and behavior that you need for a job? You should know what you are exactly, and then you need to learn. Like you can be vigilant. Vigilant means observe everything carefully, what are the things which are coming, and then you need to act. Punctuality is a very 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 important and not taken seriously by many of the students, because you need to consider and give importance to the time of others. You have to be punctual, you have to be disciplined to carry out a task. personal perseverance and patience. Whenever you are assigned a job, you may fail sometime. You may not get the correct answer, but you should stick to it. And then you have that patience to carry forward that job and complete the task. You should get that sense of responsibility. When somebody assigns a tasks to you and they believe that you will get it done, you should also own it as your own. You should have that sense of responsibility, and then only you will succeed. Observation and curiosity. Be curious enough with what is happening around the world. Even if you get a job tomorrow, or right now also, when you are now in a learning phase or a pass out, be curious about what is happening into the market, how the market is processing, how the industry is working, what are the different schemes which are coming into the picture, and then you can build around it. Then if you are thinking about going into a service sector, empathy is a very, very important trait. Empathy is the one, like, if you are into even in the internal team, like if you are talking to a customer, how considerate you are, how you are responding to a customer, how you are behaving with the internal teammate is very important. So then next is emotional intelligence. Now emotional intelligence is a new buzzword which is there. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is about how you take the feedback given by your senior, given by your teacher. Like if you're writing an assignment, or if you have made one presentation and if you're presenting, if somebody tells you this is not wrong, this is wrong, you need to correct this, how you take it? You take it positively, or you take it, नहीं बाबा इनको कुछ समझता नहीं है, मैंने तो अच्छा बनाया था. So how is your attitude? You should, how you take it. Then meeting the deadlines. This could be even right now in your curriculum also. There are submissions which we would need to do on a certain deadline. How you cope up with that pressure? Suppose there are 5 tasks to be done at a time and there is a certain deadline, then how are you handling it? How you're feeling in your head about the pressure? Then working with not enough resources, like if you are supposed to make a job done and you do not have ample resources with you, so how you will manage with the resources which are available with you is emotional intelligence all about. Now financial intelligence. What is financial intelligence? I know that the finance students will be at ease because they know quite basic finance concepts. Yeah, even other trades also learn it, because we have to pass that exam in the first year and second year to move it to the second year. So first semester and second semester we do have finance, everybody has it, but then you need to learn those concepts for your life. You just don't learn them for passing the exam. Now even what happens is, if you learn the concepts, you know how the money moves into your organization, how the organization gets profit out of the tasks that you are doing, and this will enable you to take your decisions more precisely, with more confidence, which will enable you to ultimately give the profit to your organization. I would like to give an example over here, especially for the people who are going into sales, uh, that we must have learned what is LC, letter of credit. We have we heard the word like hedging, because these are the terms which we come across if we go into sales one fine day. And what happens is that we do not know what the LC is about, and so we need to learn that, because once you go to the customer, you finalize the order, and then he says, okay, I will pay you 100% money, but I will pay via LC. And now you don't have the knowledge what is LC, how can you confirm him the order? So that's why polish your skills, even read the incoterms and get those things, get these terms by hearted, or know them. Next is personal SWOT analysis, very important. What is personal SWOT analysis? You should know what you are, as I have said. You write down a SWOT analysis for yourself, even while preparing for the job. What are your strengths? That you are a graduate? Yes. If you have done any course? Yes. You are confident? Yes. Then you write your weaknesses. You are the best judge for yourself. You know where you are lagging. Suppose if you're lagging in communication, suppose if you're lagging in certain area, like if I have to go for a online marketing and I don't have a specialization or special skills for how to do SEOs, then yes, that is your weakness. What are the opportunities? um, Opportunities is the job market, as I have given few. And what are the threats? The threats could be there are multiple other students who are also seeking a job. So then you work on your strengths and use those strengths to overcome the weaknesses. Try to convert those weaknesses into your strengths, and then you prepare yourself as a good profile. So once you are now ready with all these up skills, we move to how you actually prepare for the job market. So now you are a product over here into a market where you're approaching industries and you're asking them to buy yourself. You're selling yourself over there. So you have to build yourself as a brand. You are a brand. So brand has different attributes. As we have seen that we have worked now on the different attributes that we need in ourselves. So you when you how you will work as a brand, work building on your CV. You have to go, you can refer the profiles or you can refer the job opportunities or the vacancies which are present, and you see what are the skills are required for a particular job. Suppose if you're going for a digital marketing manager or a social media manager, then there is a skill set which is written over there. You can work on it, you get those skills, and you have to then customize your CV accordingly. If you're going into a sales profession, what are the skills which are required? You can own those skills, and then you have to mention those points, mention those qualities in your CV accordingly. You have to audit your online presence. Nowadays everything is online. LinkedIn is a very very good platform. How you will audit your online presence? Follow the groups, follow the topics over there which you are interested into. Like if you are going for becoming a product manager, there are many topics which are related to product marketing, how you can be a good product manager, how the product is marketed, how the branding is done. So you follow those topics. There are various discussions taking place. Ask questions over there, and then there
In
would
this
be
last
replies.
1 minute.
Pardon?
I said last 1 minute.
Oh yeah, I'll just cover it up very fast. So then you make connections, grow your network, and while growing your network, when you look for the internship and freelancing assignments, you have to particularly ask the people. Now you let them know that you are looking for an assignment even via LinkedIn. Explore the startups. Startups are a very good because even in the traditional job, you stick to a particular confined job profile. In startups, you get a bigger area to explore your potential. So this is what I have. And I would say that you have to stay positive and stay motivated for it.